Brian Cash, segment 2, Max Muscle South Metro. We're talking again about proteins, and this is such a dynamic conversation. Done a lot of research, both current and past, but we could go down, so many different avenues, and we will, because I think it's very important. Proteins, vitamins, and fish oil are such a supplement category in and of themselves, being that they're whole food based and just general public, and probably arguably the most marketed outside of pre-workouts and what we can ingest and spend money on. So right now, talking about different types of protein. Let's start with whey. Whey being a milk derivative. So when we look at pasteurization of milk and how do we come up with whey, we start with milk, casein, whey, and whey isolate. Through that pasteurization process, we're going from, we're pulling out sugars, lactose, we're pulling out additional fats, we're pulling out different components from a milk source to make it more simple for the body to process and digest and uptake. We talked last segment about when to take your protein supplement, and that's immediately post-workout. And as we factor out all of those additional additives or ingredients in milk, that's what's making it easier to absorb for the body post-workout. So whey is arguably the best source of supplemental protein, being that it has the most dense and complete amino acid profile. We talked a little bit about leucine, isoleucine, and valine. Leucine being the most important through protein synthesis. You need approximately 3 grams of leucine per serving for that protein synthesis to be effective and that muscle recovery to be optimized. Not all proteins. So in about 6 ounces of chicken, you're getting about 2.9 grams of leucine. So if 6 grams of chicken doesn't fit in your macro profile for the day, we've talked about calories and how that all fits in, then you may want to add a whey protein supplement instead of that, 1 for the absorption, 2 for those amino acids, and 1 being leucine. If you don't want to go that route, or if you're not getting in, maybe you're only taking in 20 grams of protein post-workout, you may want to look at potentially taking a branched chain amino acid supplement, which would get you those amino acids that we were talking about in the quantity that we're looking for to optimize protein synthesis and recovery. Kind of get into, there's a lot of marketing about whey isolate, caseinate protein, all coming from milk, all adequate sources of protein, but the bioavailability, and we have a chart that we'll flash up for you, is much less than that. Casein is much less bioavailable than whey. Whey isolate is more bioavailable than whey, meaning your body can utilize it more efficiently, your body can uptake that and synthesize that protein more effectively, meaning you're not excreting out excess protein. Okay, so you see shakes that say Weightbolic 60. Weightbolic 60 is 60 grams of protein per serving. You, me, we don't need 60 grams of protein in a bolus from a supplement post-workout. I don't care how big you are. 30, 40, even like 25-ish is definitely adequate depending your size and your intensity of training. But 60 grams of protein, your body can't effectively process that, and you excrete out the remainder. So, not to say you can't drink that, but it's your body's not using it. So just be aware. Again, this supplement world is so marketing based that more is not always better. Okay, more is not always the most effective for you, your results in your body. So looking at something with about 30 grams of protein is a general rule of a great post-workout quantity. Now, where do we get that 30 grams from? We talked about whey, we've talked about whey isolate, we've talked a little bit about casein. Casein's more of a milk solid, a little bit harder for your body to process. Takes longer time for it to process because it has more milk solids in it. So not always optimal for post-workout. Max Pro in itself has 26 grams of whey and 4 grams of casein, yielding 140 calories. So 140 calories with 2 grams of carbs, no sugar, and no fat is a very clean source. So when you're looking at a label, can you see this? Yeah. When you're looking at a label in any supplement, look at the amount of grams it takes for a serving. Okay? So in this you have 35 grams per serving, right? So 35 gram scoop of powder yields you 30 grams of protein. So you have a 5 gram differential there, okay? I challenge you, and I don't even have one here in the store, I challenge you to potentially look at muscle milk. How many grams of powder do you get in a serving versus how many grams of protein actually comes from that? You'll be surprised at the differential there. Look at some of the ones that you get at Costco or your grocery stores. Your differential is very broad, meaning there's a lot of fillers, there's a lot of taste additives and things like that that you don't need, that you really don't want. So also look at the fat. We got 1 gram of fat.
So Brian, a lot of those proteins are doing stuff like they're watering down basically.
Yeah, they're diluting. Diluting based off of, is it taste? Is it consistency? Is it, you know, can I put 40 servings in here, but how many true grams of protein am I getting, right? When you do the math, when you're doing the math on value, divide by number of grams of protein you're getting versus the dollars spent. Not how many servings, okay? Because I can put 100 servings of 10 grams of protein and charge you 20 bucks. You know what I mean? So that value for your money is number of grams of protein versus your dollars spent, not servings. Quality of the serving.
So once again, if they're evaluating like a muscle milk,
yeah,
what you're to look on the label, you're looking for.
So these are the key components of looking in any supplement, and we're focusing on protein. Look at serving size, 35 grams. It could be 50 grams, it could be 72 grams, it could be whatever. But then immediately go down to how much protein are you getting out of that serving. So if 35 grams of powder yields me 30 grams of protein, that's pretty darn good, right?
So if it said 100 grams of powder and 20 grams of protein.
Horrible. And then you can go to the ingredients list and say, what else is in there? If that ingredients list is a paragraph and milligrams and micrograms and all that stuff of just a plethora of things, like look at NO Explode. Their ingredients list is this long because there's like fragments of all these little things, nothing of substance to do anything, right? So just a lengthy ingredients list does not create value. Then we look at calories, 140 calories. I would look at carbohydrates. We look at 2. We look at sugars of 0. Those are the high points. Serving size yields me how much protein, which is how many calories, which is how much sugar and fat and carbs. And you can do the quick math. I mean, you can say what else is being added in. You know, 35 grams yields me 30 grams of protein. You can do that fairly quickly.
So there's definitely deception in.
There's deception in this industry. There's a lot of deception in a lot of marketing in the supplement world, unfortunately. So the FDA doesn't necessarily govern. It's an opinion, but maybe as they should. And with that said, you need to know what you're putting in your body. So if you're spending the money. A couple things with Max Pro or Max Muscle, just not a plug, but a fact. Made in the USA. Most supplements can't say that. QIG, Quality Ingredient Guarantee, meaning we batch test all of our products for effectiveness and 99.9% accurate label claim at minimum of 2 times per month. So 95% of supplement companies can't say that they do that. So you're getting what you're spending the money on what's in it, not what you think is in it. And that's a big thing. So kind of breaking it down, then we get potentially into soy protein. Really big kick, or was, you know, a few years ago, even into the current. Soy protein is obviously a plant-based protein. Plants don't have those amino acids that we were talking about. It's a plant-based, not an animal-based, so you're not getting the abundance of amino acids that are effective for protein synthesis, muscle repair and recovery, and all of those things that we've already outlined. So soy takes a long, arduous process to extract the protein from it. So I really be leery of ingesting a bolus or soy protein in itself. 1, from the bioavailability, 2, from what you're actually getting, and 3, the processing in which it takes to get there. If you are vegan or want plant-based protein, that's fine. That's a personal choice, and that's fine. I would focus more on pea or hemp proteins. They're a little bit easier to assimilate. The amino profile is a little bit different, even though it still is a plant. If you are going to go down that route, you may want to look at facilitating or adding in a branched chain amino acid powder or pill, preferably powder, just to get the spectrum of aminos that you're looking for. Real quick, I just wanted to show gold standard, Optimum Nutrition. Not a bad protein at all. Pretty reputable company, I say, in our industry. Been around a long time, and this is not a bash or anything against it. I've used it when I was in high school for quite a long time. But this is amazing marketing. This is amazing marketing. 24 grams of powder, or sorry, 24 grams of protein. So we're looking at this label. 24 grams of protein out of 30.4 grams of powder. Okay. Gram of sugar, 3 grams of carbs, gram of fat. Kind of close to the Max Pro, right? When we do the math and we look at dollars per gram of protein, like I went back to, Max Pro is a better value for more grams of protein, honestly. But not a bad one. What I want to show you here is on all their labels, which is genius. 24 grams of protein, which is what we just highlighted here, yields you 5.5 grams of BCAAs, which we talked about, and also 4 grams of glutamine, which we've talked about. That 5.5 and 4 is what makes up 24 grams of whey protein. So you think, in my experience, most customers think, I want the protein, I want this because it has additional branched chains and glutamine. No, it's not additional, it's what's already in here per serving. So if you're getting a quality whey protein, that 5.5 and 4 will already be in quality proteins. It's not in addition to. Most people look at this and say, holy crap, I'm getting more branched chains and glutamine for my money. Not true, it's already in there. But a good marketing.
So they're watering down the protein part of it?
No, they're not watering down anything. They're just itemizing what's already in protein. They're just itemizing what's already in protein. So they're telling you, they're stating the obvious.
They're reselling.
They're stating the obvious.
It's like, this car has power windows.
Right.
Like,
well,
I know.
I see the button. Yes, it has power. I get it. But you're going to charge me more money for it. Well, it should have power windows. This car has a motor. Yeah, I know it's a car.
Right, you know? Right.
So that's, in the marketing world, we taste it and it's like super dry and gross. But again, marketing, zero carb, isolate protein. These have been around a long time. Ready to drinks are very expensive for what they are. This is a bottle per serving. This is a serving of protein. These are anywhere from $4 to $5. This is like 80 cents. You know what I mean? So I mean, because they're in glass bottles and in liquid state, they charge more. I get it. But what do you think it takes to keep protein in liquid state? A lot, right? And the nature and the value of what you're trying to do with keeping it in liquid state is not worth the money. So if you're looking for a protein and you're looking for convenience, grab a shaker, put a scoop of powder in it, add water, do your thing. Poor value and not necessarily an adequate solution for your money or for keeping it in preservative state. So those are the high points about whey. Other avenues of protein. If you can get whey, I would challenge you to do so. If it's a digestive issue or intolerance due to dairy, there are whey isolates and things like that do extract that dairy and that lactose, so you shouldn't have an issue, and you can still stick in the dairy world, which is very positive in the whey world. But if it's a personal choice or it's actually an allergy to whey, then we can go. There are other solutions for you. We didn't talk about egg. Egg protein's amazing. Albumin protein's awesome. Amino acid profile's great. Obviously a derivative of an animal, and a really good adequate source. And it's still in that animal-based category. So there's powders that yield that as well as liquids, or eat the egg. But a few companies are actually making powder-based albumin protein, which is really good. It's like a malt. It's kind of like that fluffy consistency. So we have those. We can sample those to you as well. So yeah, that's kind of our protein 2-segment deal. We're going to be talking in the future, short future, near future, about some of these pyramid, multi-level marketing supplement companies and how they're packaging and why they're charging so much and what you're actually getting for your dollar. We're going to talk about micronized versus heat pressed and some of the manufacturing details. So stay tuned. We'll be rolling that out here shortly. But you should have a pretty good overview of whey, what it is, why protein, and when to take it going into the first of the year. Give us a call if we can help you. Again, log in, take some of this information if it's engaging and you have some questions or concerns. or want to sample anything, come in, ask us, call us, maxmusclesouthmetro.com. Stores in Lone Tree and Centennial, so we look forward to seeing you.